You guys, you're watching the Christiana 321. I am the Christiana, and I've got a major problem. I get really addicted. It might not be the best word for it. Oof, sorry. To mobile games. I try not to spend money on mobile games. I really do. And for the most part, I do a good job of it. But every now and then, there's a game that, like, in order to keep playing or in order to make progress in it, I need to spend money. And I say need to. I can either spend money or I can just, like, keep replaying that level, or I could just wait for my energy to replenish or whatever. But I'm impatient. Or, like, sometimes there's a time goal, and because I can't be playing the game all the time because I have work and other life commitments, it doesn't work out. I can't dedicate my whole life to playing the game, and so then I just end up needing to, get to it in other ways. So I thought I'd go through some of the games that I have on my phone right now, because I'm trying to limit the time that I spend playing games. And start off with, first of all, this is not sponsored at all. But one that I recently deleted because I was just like, I was too into it. And I did end up spending a lot of money buying, like, energy and different things to help my progress in the game, which was dumb because, anyway, it was Love and Pies, which it is a merge game. So, like, you know what merge games are. But I've played several of them in the past, and they all have... This is the first one that's really kept my attention because the story actually progresses. All of the other ones that I've played, either the story wasn't very interesting, or it spent way too long of, oh, Grandma, I need to talk to you. Oh, yes, sweetie, we'll talk. And then they never talk. And, like, it just keeps, it progresses way too slowly. Love and Pies, it actually progresses, and you get through storylines, and they keep having new storylines that are actually new, not, which was great. It kept my attention way more than spending, 30 days wondering if the main character is ever going to talk to their grandma, because that's not very interesting after a while. So, Love and Pies, though, you do progress. Some of the storylines, though, have kind of disappeared. Anyway, so I'm on day, or whenever I deleted, I was on day 110, 105, I don't know, somewhere above 100, because when I got to day 100, there was a big event and whatever. But once you get past, I think, wherever the game developers have created story for, then you have to take a break from the story for like a week or 2 weeks or something, and they have you doing the side quest. And sometimes there's other, like, side stories, whatever. But I don't mind because the story itself is really interesting and the characters are pretty interesting. It did seem like at a certain point that kind of were grasping at straws. We've got a new main story that's really interesting. Anyway, if you like merge games and you like storylines, I would totally recommend playing it, as long as you can be smart and are not gonna spend more money than you want to have in your budget for mobile games. Thought I would go through some of the other old ones that I've played, but I haven't really had any other ones recently. I do enjoy the merge games, and then I also enjoy the ones where, like, you try and get blocks of a certain color near each other, and then you click it, and then it, Like, there's one that was Toy Jamboree. That's not right. Something like that. And there's one that was Merge Mania. I don't remember. Anyway, but those were all a while ago. Like things like Candy Crush. I played Candy Crush, and I've downloaded Candy Crush a few times. It doesn't keep my attention. I don't know if there's just too much going on, or you don't get enough energy. I don't know, but yeah, that one hasn't kept me enthralled. There's a new one that I heard of specifically from Hank Green. So now we're getting to the ones that I have on my phone. I heard of because of Hank Green. He, I guess, is part owner of the project, but it's called Gubbins, and it is this word creation game, which the free version you can only play one game a day, which is good. I think that I could very easily get hooked on it if I was ever allowed to play more than one game a day. You are trying to make words, and you get a bunch of letter tiles at the bottom, kind of like Scrabble, but whenever you get a word, it disappears, so you're not building off of words, so it's not really like Scrabble. Anyway, it's a lot of fun, and with it only being once a day, like I can limit myself, so I'm not just staring at my phone the whole time. Number Match. So this is one where you are trying to connect numbers to either make 10, or because they're matching, like they're the same number, or they add together to make 10, and they have to be in a line. And it is good, because I can play it without internet, and so on airplanes or the train or whatever, I can still play it. But also, like, it's just enough strategy and connectedness that it isn't completely mind-numbing, so it's almost meditative playing it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it does have a daily challenge, so for the most part, I just play the daily challenge and then I'm good. I don't sit there and play it forever unless I'm watching a very boring TV show. And my goal is to stop picking up my phone so much. And so even during boring TV shows, maybe I'll stop. Oh, I recently deleted the Phase 10 game. It was fun for a while, but yeah, I just stopped caring. I don't know, that was the one that I didn't play daily, and so after a while I realized, oh, it's been like a month since I've opened that app. I just kind of forgot it existed, and so I just deleted it. One less reason to pick up my phone. I've got a Sudoku game on here, which is, I mean, you probably know what Sudoku is. It's another number game that I play on, basically exclusively on airplanes and trains now. I used to play it a lot more. It was one that I would play whenever I was getting ready for bed, like whenever I was laying in bed and trying to get my brain to turn off. Maybe I should go back to doing that instead of mindlessly scrolling. That seems like a much better thing to have in your brain before you go to sleep. And then these last two, one is Township, which my generation, back in my day, Facebook was just a sparkle in Mark Zuckerberg's eye. There's this thing called Farmville, and I think this is basically Farmville, where like I'm growing plots of land and I have to build buildings for my town to live in and work in and all of that, and I have to go in every so often to harvest the crops. Although I never played Farmville, so I could be wrong about this, but I believe in Farmville, if you didn't come back in frequently enough, then your crops could die. I don't know if that's true, but that's how the old people at the time treated Farmville. because mostly it was only like people my parents' age. And this was back when I was, what, I don't know, 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there, that were playing Farmville. Although I guess now I'm not old enough to have, oh, I am technically old enough to have a teenager if I had a different teenage life than I did. Anyway, I'm not gonna think about that. Not gonna think about that. Some people in my age group could have teenage offspring, or people that are just, you know, not too much older than me. But so the reason why this one is a problem is because I feel like this is one that if I get super into it, I could see myself spending money to get extra, like, game points to grow my town better, faster, stronger. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that, because I don't want to. This one I really downloaded because I kept getting ads for it, and so far the game is nothing like the ads, which makes me mad. I knew that it was going to happen, because it happens with most of these mobile games that I get lots of ads for, except Love and Pies. Love and Pies was very true to the ads. There's not an ad for Love and Pies. If I go back to Love and Pies, do you think I'll have my spot saved? Or I'm going to start from 0? No. And this one is kind of like the, this next game is called Wood, Nuts, and Bolts Puzzle, where you've got a bunch of, like, wood pieces that are attached to a board by some, I guess, nuts, and bolts, and you remove the bolts one at a time, and it has to go to another, like, spot on the board. And then, you know, if you have taken out all of the bolts that are attaching a particular board, it falls, and the other boards around it, you know, react appropriately. Anyway, I'm not doing a great job of describing it, maybe. But, so this one is a puzzle game that I really enjoy. Sometimes, though, it's really frustrating, and in order to move on from a particular level, past a particular level, you can use some of the, like, bonuses that are, like, it'll remove a screw for you without you having to have another place to put it on the board, or you can undo a move, or you can get an extra hole in the board, and you can do that through watching an ad, which is what I always do for the first one. But after you use one of the bonuses once on a round, then you have to pay 2 tickets to do it again, and so sometimes I need to have an extra one unscrewed. So I used 2 tickets. However, you don't get tickets very often in this game, so sometimes I buy extra tickets, which is not part of the plan. So I think I might need to delete this game, but it's a lot of fun. You just need to have more self-control, or make it harder to buy things in the game. I don't know. I need to use my phone less. Like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. But yeah, so that is my very shameful mobile game addiction as it stands today. Which is not when you're watching this. This is sometime in the past. Who knows? Do you have any mobile games that you would suggest that are not made way easier by purchasing things? Let me know what your favorite mobile game is down below, and whether you think that I should check it out or not based off of what I've shared of my preferences, or like just a little bit about the game, so I can make that judgment. Is it a puzzle game? Is it a merge game? Is it I don't know, first person shooter? Do they make those in mobile games? I feel like they do. Anyway, like and subscribe if you've made it this far in the video. hopefully that means that you liked it and that you want to see more. And yeah, so subscribe. Bye. Or good night, sweet dreams. Bye.